Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rob. This is RH Midwest Comics, and today I am giving you the final update, at least for my story, of the CGC Reholdering scam. If you remember, I posted a video about 4 months ago about how we were affected. There were two specific books that we had that were part of this scandal. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it so you can understand exactly what had happened. I'll give you a very, very high level of what happened here because I know everyone's heard it 100 times before. Most people have. But in case you haven't, it was essentially there was a person that was cracking out very valuable slabs, like 9.8 books, like Amazing Spider-Man 300. And they were also cracking out lower valued books of the same issue, like a 9.6 or a 9.4 or a 9.0. And they were carefully putting it into the 9.8 slab. And they made it look nice enough that the slab wasn't really compromised. They'd send it into CGC to get reholdered. And all of a sudden, a 9.0 book has a 9.8 slab, and then they sell it for a lot more money than they bought the 9.0 for. So in a nutshell, that's what happened. CGC put out a list of 350-ish books that they believe were a part of this. We went through our inventory. We found two ASM 300s, first appearance of Venom, that were affected. And in that video, I still had them in my possession. Since then, over the past 4 months, what has happened? Well, we sent the books in. They were determined to have been part of that scandal, meaning they were books that had been cracked out and put into 9.8s. And I believe that also means that CGC didn't believe either one was a 9.8. So what was announced prior to this even happening, people returning all their books, the CGC said if they were found to be part of this scandal, and CGC was going to keep the books, and then they were going to compensate the owners of the books, like myself, fairly. And that was always the big question: is what is a fair compensation going to be? We'll talk a little bit about that, but not in a whole lot of detail, and I'll explain why in a little while. But the first thing I want to do is I do want to show you what happened. We're going to go back to the list, and I'm going to show you where my two books are and what CGC has done. All right, so this is the website that CGC put together to give everybody an update on the holder tampering incident, as they call it. I guess, it's probably a better way to say it as opposed to calling it a scam. But anyway, anybody can get to this and look at it and gives all the details. It had the last update was March 18th. Gives a lot of Q&A stuff here. There was an update previous to that, January 3rd. Give instructions on how to submit your books, more FAQ, and then it gets into the books. Now you'll see some certain numbers have been crossed out. And if you read the notes above, it says once they cross out a certain number, it means that CGC has reviewed the book. So this is being updated live. So you can go back tomorrow and find more books that have been crossed out. Okay. And the list is organized alphabetically. So you see it starts out with Adventures of Superman. So we're going to go down to, we're going to look at my books, right? As we scroll down here, you don't see a whole lot of books crossed out. I think people are very hesitant to send these in. I sent mine in right away. So we're going to go down to ASM 300. So here we go. And ASM 300 had the biggest portion of the list, just so you know. We're going to go to my first book. I mean, look at these. Like, there are no certain numbers crossed out on this. All right, my first number is 384. Here are some crossed out ones here. So 384-399-7003. So here it is. And it has been crossed out. So, which is good because I sent the books in. CGC confirmed they got them. They made the process very easy. So that's the first one. Then we go down to 409, 330, 3003. This is it. Again, crossed out. They got the book. They reviewed it. So then I was curious. So that's good, right? They've updated the list, at least from my part. So then I decided to go to the certification page and type in these numbers and see what it pulls up. So when we pull up the first one, the 384 book, you can see there's a note up here that says, if you own this book, or if you're offered this book, right, with this cert number, contact CGC, which is good, right? Because this book should never get into anyone else's hands. And then you look down here in the grade is gone. So no longer is it called a 9.8. So I am assuming, I don't know if this has happened yet or not. I assume what will happen is CGC will eventually, if they haven't already, crack the book out. They'll give it the appropriate grade. Maybe they'll press it. Who knows? Give it the appropriate grade, and then somehow it's going to be sold off, right? That's what I think. I don't know that. I just think that. So anyway, that's what the first book looks like. And when I go to the second one, the 409 book, same thing, right? It has the note up top, contact CGC if you see this book, and the grade is gone. Okay, so CGC has done their part for sure in terms of updating the census. So what does this all mean? So I can give you some details as to what's happened, but I can't give you a lot of details, and I'm sure you can understand. There are agreements that have been made, but I will tell you this, that CGC has been contacting people and essentially saying that they're going to make an offer for compensation. And I've heard that from other people as well. And all I can tell you from my perspective, and I'm very sorry I can't give you more details on it, but I will say that CGC did this the right way. From what I can tell, they are taking care of people and compensating them in a more than fair way. And as they had stated earlier, they were going to make sure that people were able to go and repurchase a book, the same book in a similar grade, the same grade, with the compensation that they get. That's what they said from the beginning, right? That's no secret at all. And they for sure are holding true to that. And can't give any dollar numbers or anything like that. But I will just say again, CGC has done a great job trying to remedy this situation. And although, people are putting a lot of blame in CGC because their cases weren't strong enough or tamper-proof, they didn't have to go and do all of this. But they did, and they took it on. And I know CGC makes a lot of money, but they're doing the right thing here. And for my part, I'm done. Everything's taken care of. It's good. I'm extremely happy. I can choose to go buy 2 ASM 300 9.8s if I want to again, right? Based on market value. I can do that. So that's all I can get into right now. I just wanted to close this out because I said I would give an update. I'm giving an update on as many details as I can provide, and I'm trying to respect CGC and their privacy as well. So again, happy ending, at least for me. I couldn't ask for more, and hopefully the person, I'm assuming litigation is going to be ongoing with the person or the people who have done this. There are a couple different lawsuits going on, right? Not just this, but people that worked at CGC as well that apparently were stealing from within. So that's another thing they have going on. So they've got a lot on their hands right now, and hopefully security and other things tighten up there. And I'm sure they're putting a ton of measures in place to kind of remedy both of these things. But that's the end to my part of the story, and I hope you enjoyed it. Ask me questions. I'll answer whatever questions I can with as much detail as I can. And that's it for now. More content coming. Motor City Comic Con is next weekend. I promise you there's going to be a lot of video on that. And until next time, have a great day.